Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, or welcome if you guys are new to our channel. My name's Angelica and I do videos here on YouTube with my family, and we are the G family, and that is what you guys are watching right now. And this video is going to be about birth control, and this video is going to be a little TMI, and it's going to be just for women and stuff. So yeah, just if you're watching this video, take that in mind and know that this is a video for other women searching for a birth control that works good for them. And then just if you are a woman who has this birth control or has thought about getting this birth control, then that is the reason that I'm doing this video. This birth control is the Nexplanon birth control. I see a lot of people talking about it here on YouTube, so yeah, let's get into this, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's go! Okay guys, so we're going to be talking about this birth control, specifically the Nexplanon birth control, and we're going to be talking about it and just the way that I personally was affected by it. And I'm going to be talking about before getting it, after getting it, or before getting it, during, while I had it on still, and then after I got it taken off, because I currently do not have it on anymore. You guys can see, like right here, I don't know if you guys can see, that right there is the one where they put it in, and that right there is where they took it off. You guys can't see those too good. Hold on, let me see. But there are these two things. I currently do not have it in anymore because of the way that it just ended up working out for me. Obviously, just everybody has different body types, everyone's body works different, and it might work for you, but it didn't work for me, and this is going to be my story and my birth control experience, and I hope that I can shine a light on this for some of you guys. Before I got this birth control put on, you guys know, if you guys watch my channel, that I have a toddler, and she is going to be 3 years old in February, but right after I had her, right after I gave birth to her, I am a teen mom, and I was 16 years old when I gave birth to my daughter. So right after I had her, I think she was like 3 months old, and then I got my birth control put in, and those 3 months, the only reason I hadn't gotten the birth control put on was, obviously you have to wait more than the 6 weeks they tell you to wait to get your birth control put on, and then you could ask for it after that. But also I was breastfeeding, and I had heard that with this birth control, when you're breastfeeding, it could affect it. It doesn't always happen, but it could happen, and I didn't want it to affect it. And then when my daughter turned 3 months, we found out that she had a lactose intolerance, so she actually doesn't have a lactose intolerance. You guys also watch my channel, you guys know that she has a milk allergy, but this specific doctor told us that she had a milk allergy, and so I can't breastfeed if I didn't cut off all dairy and milk products out of my diet. So, and again, I didn't want to do that, so yeah. And then those 3 months passed, and I got my birth control put in. I got the Nexplanon implant for 3 years. I heard they're making one now for 4 years, which is crazy. I cannot imagine the amount of hormones in those birth controls. But I guess if they want to do it for 4 years, then you know your body, you know what you want, you know what your plan is in life, and you do what you have to do, especially with birth control. For women, I think that is important that we have a way of controlling that, because it's just a natural thing and we need it sometimes. And yeah, but Olivia was 3 months old when I got that birth control put in. I got it put in June 20th of 2017, and so a few years ago. And when I got it inserted, I went to the clinic and they wiped down this area. They put iodine. If you guys don't know what iodine is, I will put like a little description of what iodine is. It's pretty much like a disinfectant. I'm pretty sure you guys have probably used it in like science class or something. It's like brownish orange, like liquid, and it's like a antibacterial something, I believe. But they rubbed that all over my arm. They didn't numb it. They didn't put no numbing shot. Nothing like that. It was just seriously just this iodine that they rubbed to like thin the surface, and then they grabbed like a little gun. If you guys could imagine like the ear piercing guns like that, and they like went, and I felt like literally just like a little like almost to be like if you go like this and like pull. That's what I felt when it first like latched onto my skin, because I guess it has like a hook that latches onto your skin, and then they shoot the Nexplanon into your arm. So I felt the hook, and that's it. I didn't feel the Nexplanon getting inserted. But after that, I had a bruise about just like it was all this area right here was bruised, and I had it bandaged up. So right after I did it, I didn't feel anything other than that tug, and like literally this is what it feels like, so it's not that bad. I mean, if your pain level is worse than mine, which I really highly doubt it. Again, if you guys watch our videos, you guys know that my pain tolerance is literally the lowest pain tolerance ever, and that's all it felt like to me, so I'm pretty sure to you, it probably feel like nothing. And that was the beginning of the end for me with this birth control, because I had a hell of a wild ride with it. I had it for a year and a half, almost to the date. So yeah, like it just really didn't work for me, and I don't know why I didn't see it sooner. Like I had it for a year and a half. You would have thought that I seen it sooner because it started from the beginning, how that was and everything that it was doing to me. So I don't understand why I didn't take any of those clues in. But yeah, that's what happened when I got it put in. So now we're going to be during while I have this devil of a birth control on. So right after June, so when you go get your birth control put in, most of the times they'll, like if you're getting birth control pills, they'll tell you not to start them until your period starts, because then once that period has cleared, it means your body is like activated then. And that's the same way that it is for this implant. I had to be on my period for it to be able to be put in, and then once it was able to be put in, they ended up telling me that as soon as that period would end, I think I have like 2 or 3 more days left. They said as soon as that's done, then you're okay. It's ready to go, like it's working at that point. So that was a little bit confusing because you don't really ever know if it's active when it's active. You just have to wait for your period to end and hope that it's active. So that was a little bit tricky, but yeah, you have to be on your period and you go get it done. So once it activated or whatever, that is when I started to notice how it wasn't working for me. So my first period after. So hold on. Let me tell you. So this birth control, if you guys probably are shook if you just heard what I said, which is why I have to backtrack. If you have been searching on this birth control and have been looking up what this birth control does, you guys have probably seen everywhere that this reason this birth control has so much hype is because it cuts your period off. It cuts it off 120 billion% cuts it off. You don't get it while you are on this birth control, because this birth control literally works by making your body think that it's pregnant. And guess what? You don't have your period when you're pregnant 95 billion% of the time. So you don't get your period when you are on this birth control, for that is what's supposed to happen. But I didn't know that. My doctor had told me that I may get my period while I am taking this birth control. So month passes, first time that I'm supposed to get my period. guess what? I got it. And it was very, very light, which is not normal for me. My period is just a normal 7-day period. Um, not not heavy at all, like just not not light at all. It's like kind of heavy, 7 days. And when I had the birth control, it was super light, but it lasted like 2 weeks. So that was the catch. And I didn't understand that. So I was literally wearing panty liners for like 2 weeks straight. If you guys don't know what panty liners are, it's like what you wear when you're like at the very end of your period. I'll like insert a picture or something here. But they were like literally tiny little like pads. So that is what I wore, and because it was seriously like just squatting for like 2 weeks straight. And then I went for a total of about 6 months without getting my period at all. Within those 6 months, so before I had gotten the birth control, I had lost about 20 pounds, and I gained about 10 of those pounds back within those 6 months. And above gaining those 10 pounds, I wasn't able to lose any. Trust me, I had tried to diet, I had tried to work out, I had always been an active person before getting pregnant with my daughter. I tried and I tried and I tried, and I kind of just ended up getting, after like this 6 months passed, it was like 7 months passed because of that first month where I was just squatting for like 2 weeks straight. After that happened, I ended up just getting into like this really like kind of like depressed and just sad and just kind of to myself, and I didn't really want to talk about it because I felt so like I couldn't do anything, and I couldn't help myself in any way, and I was just this person with this implant that was doing this to me, and I had to do it because I didn't want to get pregnant again. I didn't want to be a double teen parent. I didn't want to do all this all over again. I didn't want to be shamed for it all over again. And it was just weird because I had gained 60 pounds. 60 pounds when I was pregnant. So you're only supposed to gain, I think, a maximum of 35 pounds, and I gained pretty much double that. So I gained 60 pounds when I was pregnant. I had lost 20 of those instantly as I gave birth, and then I lost another 20 by breastfeeding, and those were the 20 that pretty much got put back on when I got the birth control put in. I got 10 of those put back on, so I really had only lost like 30 pounds instead of losing 40 pounds. So I still had like another 30 pounds to go, and I was trying and I was trying and I was trying, and I couldn't lose it, and it was just making me feel so, I don't know, I just didn't feel like myself because I wasn't active. I just didn't have the motivation in me to get up and try to be active. I wasn't active, I was grumpy, and I had mood swings left and right all the time. I was always so grumpy, and I was sad and depressed and anxious all the time. Like my anxiety levels went up. I just felt like alone, but like not alone, because I knew I wasn't alone. I knew I had my family, and I knew I had my friends, and I knew I had my daughter, and I knew that everything was okay. But just inside of me, like I couldn't, like I felt like a slump over me, and I couldn't break past that. But after those 6-7 months passed, it kind of was just like that, in and out. Like I was in and out with those phases where I felt like that. I still had really bad mood swings, and then I ended up getting my period again right after like that 7th month of not getting my period. I got it, and I remember just like bleeding so heavily. And blood clots are normal, guys, when you're on your period to get blood clots. But as long as they're just little blood clots, not big. My doctor told me as long as they're not the size of a golf ball, they're okay. So, with that being said, when I was on that birth control and I finally got on my period after 6 months of not having it, it was seriously just blood clot after blood clot every time I went to the restroom for like a month straight. Um, and I felt just gross, and I felt like gross because I felt bloated that entire month. I felt mad that entire month. It was just a period for an entire month, and then I was bleeding so bad. The amount of tampons and pads and everything that I bought that month was ridiculous because of how much I was bleeding, and it sucked. And I just had to deal with it and get over it and just be like, you know what, it's fine. I have to do this to protect my body, and yeah, I feel like that was always me. I always had that instilled in the back of my head that I didn't want to be a teen parent again. So I forced myself to keep this birth control on, but I didn't have to. See, hi. Libby's over there. She's watching her cartoons and laying down. She just woke up not too long ago, so she's still tired. But you're so tired, you little faker. But yeah, I went through that for so long because I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to be a teen parent again, so I pushed myself to feel comfortable with something that I felt so uncomfortable with. So after, these year and a half passed, and this is where we're getting to the after part of it. So after this, about a year and a half passed. It was like a year and 5 months or something. So almost exactly a year and a half passed. I ended up deciding in December of 2018 that I did not feel comfortable with this birth control in my body, and I had been going through just so much with just my insecurities and just feeling this feeling of just not feeling like myself anymore. And I had like, I guess, an identity issue or something, because I didn't feel like myself, and I felt like I was pretending to be someone that I wasn't just because I had some birth control that was making me act a certain way. Also, if you guys know me, you guys know that I'm literally the weirdest person ever. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that or put that in any other way. Like, I'm weird, and I'm weird to the point where it's weird. I'm not weird and it's cute. I'm not weird and it's like whatever. I'm weird and I'm hyper and I'm active and I'm just all over the place all the time. And there's times where my husband tries to put me to sleep because I get too hyper and too crazy at night, where I'm like, oh my god, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, and I'm like laughing and rolling over on the bed and stuff. So my husband's like, go take your nap, go, be on your way. So yeah, I'm literally so wild, so bubbly, so everything. Like, I'm just a burst of human personality, and I wasn't like that. I was just like in my shell, and I didn't want anybody to talk to me. I didn't want to talk to anybody, and I was just so mean, and I'm so sorry to everyone that I was mean to when I was mean, because I know that I'm mean in my own time also, but I'm not as mean, and I'm not as constantly mean. So I could be mean if I want to, if you really get me mad, but I'm not a mean person. That's just not who I am. And I was literally like always mean, and I always had a smart comment to say, and I always just like, I was always just negative, and I didn't like that because that's not me, that's not who I was. And yeah, it just got me to this point in my life where I just didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel like I was being the person that I wanted to be, the mother that I wanted to be, the wife that I wanted to be. So I really just, I remember talking to my husband about it and just being like, I do not want this in my body anymore. Like, it sucks to have this, and it sucks to feel like this. And I just had to be 100% honest with him and tell him, like, I just do not feel comfortable, and I'm not tearing up, I promise. I told him I just do not feel comfortable with this anymore, and I cannot do it anymore. And after a year and a half of trying so hard to lose weight and to find myself and to try to find a purpose for just who I was going to be as a mom and as this new life that I didn't really know how to handle, And it took me a year and a half to just be like, you know the person that you are, and you know the mother that you wanted to be when you're pregnant and when you like were younger, and the person that I wanted to grow up to be like, that's the person that I wanted to be, and I wasn't doing that because I was letting this thing hold me back. So I talked to my husband about it, and it was around Christmas time. So uh, my husband was just like, if this is like truly what you want and you truly feel uncomfortable and like we have to figure another way out, then we'll figure another way out. But I want you to be comfortable. And so my husband was really, really understanding about that. And yeah, I got it taken out um, December 18th of 2018. I got it taken out. I went to a clinic, and not the same brand. I want to say brand because I know it's not the brand. Same agency of clinic or whatever, but it was just a different office, different location that I had gotten put in at that same location, at that same place, but not that same location. So I got it taken off by another doctor, who I then went into. So after, like I said, we're in the after part. So I went to talk to this doctor, and I told him all the stuff that was going on when I was having the birth control in, and the first thing he tells me is, "Wait, you got your period?" And I was like, "Yes, I got it all the time. The year and a half I had it on and off and on and off. I had it for like, I told him like the first half of that year was I didn't have it at all. And then the other year I spent with just it randomly popping up, lasting a couple of days, going away for a month, coming back for 2 weeks, leaving, coming back for an entire month. Like, I didn't know when my period was going to come. I didn't know how long it was going to be. I didn't know how heavy it was going to be. I didn't know anything. I didn't know if I was going to get bloated, if I was going to get cramps. I didn't know if I was going to have mood swings. I didn't know what was going to happen. It was just my being felt like scrambled, and I told him that, and he was that was the first thing he told me. He's like, "Wait, you got your period?" And I was like, "Yes, I did actually." And he was like, "That's the first sign that your body does not work with this birth control." And he was like, "Your other doctor didn't tell you this?" And I was like, "No, she didn't." And then he was like, "Yeah, this is the first sign when you see this birth control is," and he was an older doctor. He said he had been working in gynecology for like 30 years or something. So he was older. It's like, I don't know, like 70, and he was talking to me. He was like, "This is not okay." He's like, "It's not okay that your body had this in it for so long if it wasn't working for you." So, like your body, it didn't like it, and it was trying to show you that, and you weren't paying attention to it. Pretty much is what he was telling me, and I didn't know that because I thought, like I said, my doctor had told me I may get my period when I'm on this birth control. So I was just kind of expecting it, like I might sometimes, and obviously at the end of it I was like, okay, this is not normal. But it took me a year and a half to get to that point, and the doctor was like, the minute you got it, you should have gotten it taken out, because that's not okay. The birth control is not supposed to do that. It means the hormones in your body and the hormones in the birth control do not work well together. It's either just way too high of a level of hormone in your body, and your body was trying to reject those amount of hormones, or your hormones are too low, and this is like overpowering it. So that's what he told me. Turns out I have a high level of hormones naturally. So while applying this birth control that also had a decent amount of hormones, it's actually like in the middle of the scale of hormones. If you guys are wondering which birth controls have the most hormones, stuff like the pills, like the deep throat shot, patches, the novel ring, whatever it is, those, because they're short term, and so they pack a punch of hormones into them for them to be able to work great. Whereas like the longer it stays in you, the less hormones. So it was actually, I was using a good-ish birth control for what I was having to deal with. But what the doctor told me was I should have gone for something like low estrogen, birth control pills, or the IUD that goes up, down, under, and that one is for like 13 years, and that one has no hormones whatsoever. So if you guys are someone who has a lot of hormones and knows that, I suggest that, even though it sucks because it's 13 years. I've heard some bad stories about it, so definitely do your research on that. But that was the issue, was that I had too much hormones in my body, and then I put this other birth control on it, and they never warned me about this, that this might be something bad, something that I couldn't or shouldn't put in my body. So it was definitely a lot of processing that. So I got it taken off, and right away I knew other people that had had that birth control, and so I told them, and I was like, please, like, if you start getting your period, just please take it off, because it's not okay. That's not supposed to happen, and I don't want you guys to go through the same thing that I went through. So yeah, I'm later. But yeah, so that's what I advise you guys. You guys really just need to find the birth control for you guys, and just really do it right, and do a lot more research than I did. Research the birth control that you're going to get, and really truly understand it, because so much stuff can change from it. If you guys are wondering, after getting it taken out, I went 2 entire months where the nerves in this arm were not fully okay. Now the reason I will say that is because I think just your body adapts to that birth control. So obviously there's tissue wrapped around the birth control. When they were taking it off, they used like a little scalpel thingy, and they literally, like, it's like, say this is the birth control, and this is like your arm, the surroundings is your arm, and they're pulling, scraping the tissue that got stuck to it off, pulling, scraping the tissue, pulling, scraping the tissue until it fully comes out of your arm. So that was very gross. It was very painful. Thankfully, when they were doing that, they had put a numbing shot on me. That numbing shot hurt almost as bad as the actual thing, because I could still feel it even though they put a numbing shot on. So they put a numbing shot on it, and I think it was more to like numb the surface where they were getting cut, because they get like a little tiny, teeny tiny knife. They slice right where you get it inserted. Normally they slice right where you get it inserted, and as you guys saw, I showed you that that was not what they did. So again, there's like a one right there, there's another one like over here somewhere, you guys can see kind of, but that was, they literally marked me up twice, because I guess above it not working on my body tried to reject it, and I will tell you about that also. My body tried to reject it while I still had it on. I should have said that in the during, but I will tell you about that right now. So it moved slightly. If it would have moved more, they'd have to do an ultrasound and find it, and then possibly do surgery to remove it, which is crazy. And I'm so lucky that it didn't move around that much, but it did move. It moved a little bit. It moved like an inch, so they had to slice at a different point to take it out at a different point. But I will tell you something, that it sucked taking it out. It was so painful. Like I said, I have a low pain tolerance, and it was so painful to me. The doctor was like, why are you crying? Why are you sad? Why is it hurting? It's numb. You can't feel anything anyways. Why is this hurting? This, that. And I was over here. Dan was over here on this side. Dan and Olivia were sitting right here, like nothing, like it wasn't, nothing was happening. Dan was like holding my hand and everything, and I was over here like dying. And then this doctor was over here on this side telling me, why was I sad? Why was I crying? And I was like, I was seriously in so much pain. It's so painful please someone relate to me and tell me that it was also painful to them, because other people that I know that have birth control were like, seriously, it's not that bad, but it sucked so bad. I don't know if it was because it moved, but the tissue obviously it forms around it, so when they were scraping, I could feel them pulling, and I could feel them pulling on the muscle. So yeah, it took about 2 months, maybe a little bit more, for my arm to fully heal from getting that thing taken off. And the first month, I would say, was miserable because I couldn't reach up to get anything without like feeling like, I don't know, like, you know when you pull a muscle and like you have that super like painful strain? I felt that every time I moved my arm. So if I moved my arm a little too high, it would hurt. If I like try to reach something on the floor, it would hurt. If I would like try to move something too fast, it would hurt. Obviously I couldn't lift anything, it would hurt. And it was like that for a long time, and I was like, this is just gonna be like this forever because of how bad it was in my arm. But thankfully it didn't last like that forever. My arm is back to normal, I would say. Also, when I had it in, like during, my arm was in pain constantly, and I felt weak. I felt so weak. That's another thing. You guys know, I did soccer growing up. I did weightlifting for soccer. I can lift a lot, and I couldn't lift anything when I would have that Nexplanon on. When I got taken off for those 2 months, I couldn't lift anything either because I was in so much pain. And then, like I said, I will tell you guys what happened when my body tried to reject it also. So, I'll say this and then I'll wrap up this video. But pretty much, when I had it, I think I had it for about a year and maybe a couple months at the time. And it tried to escape, is the best way that I can put it. So I woke up one day and seen that the insertion wound was a blister. Yes, a blister. A blister, like, not that big, like this big of a blister right there. It was itchy, it was burning, it was sensitive, it hurt to my arm, and I just want to itch so bad, but I can't. You're not supposed to touch that area that much. You're supposed to be able to touch it and feel that it's in there just to know that it's safe, but you're not supposed to like mess with it. And I wanted to like itch it so bad, but I couldn't. And I just remember calling the doctor and being like, hey, the wound is like a blister and it's itching really bad, it burns really bad, and I'm in a lot of pain. What's going on? He was like, just rub cream on it lightly, just like with a warm rag, just put like warm pressure on it, and then to like put lotion and stuff on it, and if it goes down, it's just like to go down within 30 minutes to an hour, then you're okay. It did start going down, so I was like, okay, it's fine. Now that I know everything that I know about it, I'm kind of like in the thought that it was trying to escape. My body knew that I did not need it in my body. Your bodies are so intelligent, so smart, and you're made a certain way for a reason. You are not meant to put all these things in your body. That's why you eat certain foods in your bodies like hell no. You eat or you drink certain foods in your bodies like hell no. You lay in certain bed sheets that have certain materials in your bodies like heck no. You wash your clothes with certain soaps in your bodies like heck no. You wash your dishes or something like that. Like your body will tell you when something isn't good for you. So I think that was my body's way of trying to tell me, and I did listen to my body, and I kept it on for about another like 4 months, and then finally got it taken off. But yeah, that is my birth control story, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned something from it. I hope you guys truly do think about the birth control that you guys are getting, and you guys analyze it, and you guys do your research, and you guys talk to your doctors about it, and just really like be honest with your doctor. Tell them what you feel. Tell them if you breathe heavy. Tell them if you get moody. Tell them if you get cramps. tell them if you feel tired or feel achy or feel like this, or if this hurts or that hurts. Tell your doctors, because they know. They've gone to school for so many years. Difficult school. Difficult. Years and years of training. Years of school. Years of training after school to be certified as a doctor. They know what they are doing. Please trust them and talk to them about how you're feeling. And yeah, find the right birth control for you, and that is the reason that I am making this video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, be sure to give it a like and a comment and a thumbs up and all that fun stuff. And I'm looking over here because I also want to show you guys this. I kept that little mug. So yeah. Bye!
Bye.